Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early February 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Cappies in early February? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn. Late February, your birthday season has recently passed, so I hope you all had a great one. Let's see what we got as we move on into February. All right, cool. So this card kind of reminds me of the Six of Cups. It is a little daydreamy. It's a little cerebral. This could be a big thing with taking a trip down memory lane. Lots of memories with that card, which isn't a bad thing. There's other themes too. But although it looks simple, there's like certain layers that we want to peel back. Before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady here wearing a blue dress. She has a locket in her hand. Her eyes are closed. So this is a big card of reminiscing, doing a lot of thought. So sometimes our focus is on the future, which usually Capricorn is looking towards the horizon. This one is either going inward, like going within, or it's looking behind it. Now again, this could be someone else's energy that we're seeing here. It's like an energetic pull, energetic tug to the past. So again, some of you might be taking little trips down memory lane, thinking about things that have already happened. This could sometimes show up when the past comes back around at some point. So don't be surprised whether it's people, situations, or things might pop back up when this card is here. It does feel like fond memories. That's the good thing I always say about this card, because this person doesn't seem distressed or bitter. But it's just really going inward here. Now, another thing this card could represent is communication. Notice that we have these letters that are falling down. So whether that's emotional expression or just conversation in general, we'll want to see if we get other signs like that within the main part of the reading. But I'd say it's a decent way to start. It's just an inward vibe. I'd say just watch out for overthinking, because this energy does feel a little bit watery. But we're going to let her chill out. She's having a moment. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading, it's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright, then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Capricorn. What do we got? And while we shuffle this up and get ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. There were a lot of people showing up in the reading last week, and there was a lot of magnetism. So the reading was titled Here They Come, and big vibe I was picking up was like pulling something in, pulling something towards you. So again, whether you've been in people-y type of situations, group dynamics, group situations could have been highlighted, or to me it's just people are popping in, popping up. So that's something that could bleed over for a couple weeks. Keep that in mind. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Cappy. What do we have in early February? Cool. Yeah, so it's like we're getting more people again. We got Mr. King of Wands right here in the position number 1. If this is an energy you're embodying, I'd say it's pretty good. I'm a big fan of this card. Let's get a couple more, though. Let's see what else wants to show up. Okay. Okay, 2 of Wands. Strategy. Very strategic. That's the one thing I could say about King of Wands with the 2 of Wands. It's like very, very strategic. Let's get one more out here, then we'll piece it all together. What do we got for Cappy, please? Thank you. Cool. All right, so all fire. I'm feeling neutral about it. We have a very positive card right here on the back end, which is really good. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, I always love to look at the elements, because I feel like that shows us areas of life that could be highlighted in this time, how the energy's flowing, how the energy's moving. And This week, the main part of the spread, you got all one element. It's fire, right? We got the King of Wands, Two of Wands, Six of Wands. Now, I don't dislike fire. It's not your comfort zone normally, but you are a cardinal sign. Capricorns are all about action, and this is the action suit. And that's what I always say when we look at fire. It's about action, the actions we take, the actions other people take, the actions we decide not to take. It's your passion, your drive, your desire, your motivation, that inner burn within you. That's the good thing about all this fiery energy. It could speak about vitality or energy levels as well. So if your energy's been a little up and down or you're feeling a little zapped, you want to make sure you're budgeting your energy properly. The only downside to so much fire is the fact that it could be very unpredictable. I always say that fire is good for a lot of things, but sometimes it'll move in a way you don't expect it to move, or sometimes it'll be a little volatile or explosive. So that's something we want to keep an eye on as we move throughout this reading. But it could be really good, especially with the way it culminates. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we got our good pal here, Mr. King of Wands, which is good. When we have so much fire, this is the type of card that we want to see. And I always say when it comes to the kings in the tarot deck, they represent control of their suit. So all those things I was just saying about the fire, the King of Wands tries to keep that in check. Now for a portion of you, maybe you have some fire placements yourself. Maybe you're connected to a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They could all be in play with the King of Wands. And remember, it's not gender specific. So a big thing I always think of with this card, if it's not a particular individual, it's about focused intention, focused energy, where it's like, all right, I'm only going to put my energy towards things that are purposeful. I'm not going to waste my time. It's all about how you budget your energy and attention. It's super important in this time. So is your energy scattered? Is your attention scattered? Is your attention in too many different places? That could be it. Are you hyper-focused on one thing? That's a King of Wands type of energy as well. So in this time, Spirit could be saying like, all right, Capricorn, maybe you need to decide what's worth your time, effort, and attention and what's not. Now, a downside to the King of Wands, when this card does flip in reverse, it could get a little bit wild, right? This is an energy that doesn't know if it's coming or going. This is a very unpredictable, explosive energy when we see the negative side of him. So we want to see what else shows up within the reading itself, but I'm not feeling anything rough just yet. As far as personality traits, King of Wands, very outgoing, life of the party animal-ish. But it keeps things in check. It's a fun energy, and it's an energy that connects to the spotlight. And that's another thing I could say about both of these cards together. They do connect to attention for some reason. And we'll talk about that more further down the line. Now, moving to the middle, we have the Two of Wands. And when it came out, you heard me say, like, oh, this is planning. This is a lot of strategy. Now, all twos in tarot could represent decisions, choices, being at a crossroads, make or break. Do I go left? Do I go right? So for some of you, you might be in that type of space energetically with the Two of Wands. Yeah, it could be partnerships, but the big thing I always think of is strategy, right? Like you see this person, he has a globe in his hand, and he's plotting his course forward. So whereas with the Oracle card, I saw like this inward focus, this one is more outward, where it's like, no, this is where I'm going. This is what I want to do. So when I see the King of Wands and this combined, where we either got somebody in the planning phase, or it could be advice from Spirit saying like, hey, Capricorn, maybe you need to be strategic about something, or take your time. It needs to be structured. Even though it's fiery, it needs to be structured. The downside to the Two of Wands, yeah, sometimes it could be an energy that feels stuck, a little indecisive, where it's like, what do I do? Like, what to do now? So we'll see what shows up when we clarify. But getting to the back end is an energy I really, really like. We have the Six of Wands, beautiful. This is an energy of complete and total victory. So I think of wins, victories, blessings, and we see this individual, they're marching in a parade, they have their laurels, they are being celebrated. So hopefully this is a cause for a celebration coming in for you. It's really nice. Now, aside from that, it could also represent attention. So whether you're receiving more attention than you normally are, maybe you got some eyes on you when this is here. It's a big card of recognition, notoriety, so kudos and recognition for the things that you do and the things that you've done. So it's great for gaining attention because this energy is in the spotlight, especially with the King of Wands. So we have this attention grabbing type of energy. So just know, I mean, I'm not saying someone's like spying on you, but you might be grabbing more attention than you normally do with this card. So I love the Six of Wands. It's like, no, I'm going to plan the best possible road forward, which seems good. The only downside to the Six of Wands, sometimes it could represent an individual that has a bit of an ego. So watch out for anyone you're dealing with that might have an inflated sense of self or an inflated ego. But we're looking okay so far, Capricorn. Yeah, I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Mr. King of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get this King of Wands going. What's this intention? What's this focused energy that we're picking up? Thank you. Someone really thinking long and hard before they do something. Like we have that so heavy with these first three cards all combined. So we have the Four of Cups, which again, it's very similar to this energy we have here on the front. It is the inward thinking. So it's like, look before you leap. I'm thinking before I act. It's someone being very careful, very cautious, which I think could be a good thing. I guess it depends on what your situation is. The downside to the Four of Cups, yeah, it could be overthinky a little bit. So I'm a big believer in structure. Like you see how I run my readings. I like to have a nice structure to everything in life. But when I see the way this energy flows, it's like I'm thinking about it long and hard before I do it. So again, for some of you, that could be an advice. For some of you, maybe this is how someone's acting. So if there is someone you're connected to that is a bit of a live wire, or they've been acting a little funny, it's like, no, there's no mistake. There's like a lot of strategy here. There's a lot of planning behind someone's actions, behind their words. So nice structured. So for some of you, it could be great. For some of you, it could be overly cautious. It really depends on your situation. But yeah, I see someone thinking long and hard before they make something happen. So we're just going to put the Four of Cups down right here. I feel like these all tie together. So I can't wait to see what shows up next. Let's go in on the Two of Wands. Very cautious. Very, very cautious. So someone's being that way. And even, I'm not going to say there's no need to be that cautious. It just feels very, very cautious to me. Let's see what the Two of Wands is. I don't want to say it's a warning for you, but it just, yeah. I think you get what I'm putting down. All right, yeah, I'm trying to plan for every single eventuality. So we have the moon in reverse underneath it. And listen, sometimes in life we could do it, but there's a lot of times in life where, you know what, you could plan for everything and the universe could still surprise you. All right, so we have the moon in reverse. So big Pisces energy. I also connect it to Cancer, and sometimes we could even throw Scorpio in there. It's just a heavy, watery energy. But it is the biggest card of mystery. It's the biggest card of unknown. It's the biggest card of secrecy. So like we have this energy. It's like I'm in my laboratory, or I'm really building something out, and I'm troubleshooting, and I'm trying to predict things 3 steps ahead of time. It's like I'm playing chess. You know, when you play chess, you're trying to think like 5, 6, 7 moves ahead. That's how this all feels to me. So again, whether that's a vibe you're in, whether it's a vibe somebody else is in, I feel like I'm in a laboratory and I'm making a master plan. That's how it feels. So again, for some of you, advice. For some of you, I mean, I'm not going to say it's bad. It could be someone else in this energy where it's just so particular, so structured. It has to be this way. But just always keep in mind, like we know that we could plan for a lot of eventualities, but the universe could always surprise us. It doesn't matter how much we plan. It doesn't matter how intelligent we are or how good our foresight is. The universe can sometimes still surprise us. So I think it's important to not stay in the planning phase too long, if that makes sense. If it's you. If it's somebody else, it's like, all right, well, I mean, you're seeing a lot of angles here. Maybe now it's time to get it moving. But let's go in on the Six of Wands, because that might be the end result. So very, very strategically dense this week. So let's go. Cautious, a lot of troubleshooting, thinking moves ahead. Right? It's like someone playing 4D chess, right? Let's get it going. One more. Or like that chess, if you ever watch Star Trek, how they have that chessboard that goes up different levels. I don't know. These are just the imageries that are popping up in my head. Okay. And yeah, then the things do fall into place. I do like the energy here on the back end. It does feel powerful, but I feel like it doesn't come without unknowns. So we have the Page of Wands in the upright underneath the Six of Wands. This could be really great, where it's like, okay, you're going to get where you want to go, but it could be different than how you're planning it. That so with all this planning, I'm not saying it's useless. Whoever's doing it, it's not useless. There is a purpose behind it, but you're still going to reach the end in a way that you don't quite expect. Page of Wands, that could be communication. So these two cards together are actually really great. It feels like an explosive win. So to me, it's like something happens quicker than I expected it to, or this went quicker or better than I planned it. So I think that's actually really great because the energy doesn't stay in this planning, cautious phase. It does open up in a big way. So depending on your situation, the energy does come forward. But I also feel like it comes forward in a way that you don't quite foresee. Even with all like the troubleshooting and all this other energy, it's like, the universe could still surprise me. That's just the big vibe. So I would say this back end here is an explosive win. It either comes in real hot or quicker than expected, even with all the, like this structure and planning. And if this isn't you in planning mode, this is an energy that does come forward. It does come forward like, I mean, and it might seem sporadic, it might seem like it was unplanned, but there's just too much of a scaffolding to the energy here. The Page of Wands with the Six of Wands, that could also be great for getting good news or receiving good news or accolades or recognition. So for a lot of you that are watching for career-based things, we're looking real good, especially here on the back end. So I like the reading overall, even though we have this big caution in the front. Lots of fire, a little bit of water to tamp it down a little bit. But yeah, someone is in the laboratory or the laboratory. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow real quick. If you kindly look in the box position number 1, we got the King of Wands with the Four of Cups. Someone thinking long and hard before they do something. Just feels super strategic, trying to see all the different angles. We see this heavily right here on the front end. Feels very cautious, extremely cautious, really playing it safe. So again, advice or situation, In the center, we have the Two of Wands with the Moon in reverse. This is somebody trying to see like 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. So planning for every eventuality. And even though we have a decent result on the back end, it just proves the point that whoever this is that's planning, even with the energetic scaffolding, the universe can still surprise. Because on the back end, we have the Six of Wands with the Page of Wands and the upright. Explosive win, surprising winner victory, whatever the heck we want to label it. It looks good. Or it's an energy that does come forward. And it seems like it's, I didn't plan this. It seems like it's very nonchalant, but there's a plan to it. So just keep that in mind. But I think it's a good ending. And it could be some great news coming your way, especially for work or business. But yeah, please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this card out. What do we got in the shadows for Cappy, please? Oh, okay, I'll take it. Six of Pentacles, different vibe from anything we've seen throughout the whole entire reading, which I usually like when we get a shadow card that shows us something we haven't seen yet. Now, the Six of Pentacles is usually a very charitable, very giving type of energy. It can speak about equality, so whether that's in a connection or a workplace thing, it's like, all right, is this fair? Am I doing too much? Am I doing too little? This has been the underlying theme we've been seeing quite a bit. Now, for some of you, this could be good. Like I always say, the Six of Pentacles wants to put energy into something. It wants to give. It wants to be of service. So I think that's really nice. But the shadow side of the Six of Pentacles is sometimes this card could be a little too nice. Sometimes this card could be a little bit too giving. So that's just something to keep in mind, especially if you're the type of person where you'd give someone the shirt off your back. Would they do the same for you? That's something to keep in mind. And again, I'm not saying that you're being taken advantage of or anything like that. But the Six of Wands does remind me of that the Six of Pentacles reminds me of that King of Wands, where it's like, all right, am I spending my efforts judiciously? Am I spending my efforts in the right way? Am I giving too much to something, or am I not giving enough? So we're going to let them chill right there. That's what I have for you this week, Cappy. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could have a little chat. My February calendar is up, so go check that out. They usually go pretty quick. But for the February subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice different style this month. We're doing a winner's choice. So the winners, which will be 3, will have their choice of the Tarot of the Owls, the Gilded Tarot Royale, or a handmade crystal pendant from my shop, mastermetaphysics.com once again. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards we saw in this week's reading, which one caught your attention the most, whether it really inspired you or hit you right in your feelings. Anyone that stood out to you, and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.